Hello, lovely people. Hello. Welcome, everybody, to today's live stream. It's been a minute, huh? I think it's been a few months since we actually did a live stream. I'm so excited about this. Google I/O, GPT-4o, so much to talk about here. I'm here for it. Now, look, we have some interesting plans here. I actually prepared a bunch of things for today's live stream, but most of all, I'm just excited to interact with all of you in this live setting. Welcome to everybody in chat. I mean, this is a huge week for AI, right? And I know I'm sounding like a YouTube title, but let's be real, it is. Google I/O, I think I haven't seen the full thing, I gotta admit. I missed the beginning because I was preparing for this live stream and another event we just held. But I think there's some interesting stuff there, you know? The chat has been filled with various thoughts. Let me fade out the music here. Let's talk about this. Hello, everybody. Just to get things going, please share where you're from. We have 175 viewers, 175 AI enthusiasts that tuned into this live stream where we're going to be talking about the news. The focus is going to be on GPT-4o, the multimodal model from OpenAI. It has been about 24 hours since its release. I'm going to share what I learned so far, and I'm going to challenge you to actually explore it yourself. This is a brand new idea that we'll be exploring and testing here, but I think it should be a lot of fun. It's something I haven't seen done in the AI space on YouTube yet. So I'm really excited to have all of you here. Where are you sitting? I'm in Lisbon, Portugal right now. It was beautiful weather over the weekend here, by the way. You know, not that I get out too much with all these AI announcements, but it's nice to look out the window and be like, yeah, one sec. Wow, this is so, oh my God. It gets me every time. You know, it does get me every time. Look at the internationality in here. Oh my God. Jan Weber from Vienna, my man. That's where I spent the last 10 years of my life. Let's go. Zurich, Netherlands, Canada, Norway, Sweden, US, Spain. Wow. Saskatchewan, New York City is in the house. Algeria, UK. This couldn't be more international. Look at that. Indonesia. West Orange, New Jersey, Nashville, and Tennessee. This is incredible. More people from Vienna. Hey, servus, willkommen. That's good to hear. San Jose, California, been there a month ago. Philadelphia, LA. You guys can see this. This is a truly international community of AI enthusiasts. And I'm here for it. So, you know, I'm guessing most of you just watched the I/O stream. Feedback that I've got from the team so far is that, you know, most people are like interested. There's like some great stuff in there, but nothing that like completely changes the game. I think what caught my attention is like their version of GPTs. That sounds really interesting. I think this idea of having kind of this, I forgot what they named it, but this in Google Workspace, having this assistant that is universal and assists your entire team and has context from different people's conversations and meetings. That sounds really interesting. And the video model, it's good that they did it, but I mean, let's be real. It's you know, Sora is the bar, and I don't think they topped that bar. If you carefully look at it, you know, not many shots of humans, which is kind of like the thing to solve there. But it looked good. It looked very solid. I'm glad they're doing that. A lot of interesting stuff here. Look at that. A lot of people actually, you know, share cities in here. I see several people from similar cities. This is great. Let's see, what do we have here? Tease GPT-4o versus Claude Opus with the same prompt, and GPT-4o failed to resolve it multiple times, whereas Opus solved it. Fair enough. Thanks for sharing, Mahmoud. So, you know, the discussion has been very vivid on Twitter. Many people claim that, you know, it's not better on all dimensions. I'll say this. It's clearly better on vision, and it's clearly, I think 2 times is kind of the minimum, 2 times speed improvement. It's way faster than 2 times. And it's faster across all tools. Those facts alone, I'll take any day. Like it made web browsing usable. But we'll talk about all that, okay? So what's the plan for today? What are we gonna do? We have an international bunch of AI enthusiasts in one room hanging out together. I'll be your guide through this little journey today. We'll get to talk about, you know, I think towards the end, we'll keep it very open. We can turn it into a little Q&A and discussion. It's always interesting to get a question from chat, then kind of I answer it, and then everybody else in chat can also answer it. I'm definitely looking forward to doing that. But before that, I prepared a few things for today. First things first. Wait, I have this fantastic sound effect that we'll begin with. Okay, it's this one.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, incredible. We'll get into a little game here, okay? And this is something that I've played at multiple live events, and I just wanted to bring it. I wanted to bring it to the YouTube world. Let's play a little game of like, is this image AI generated or not? Okay, I just have 3 slides. I just figured it would be a fun way to begin things. I mean, these generators have become so good. Let's just do this together. So let me set up a little screen sharing action over here. And then after that, we will have a brief discussion around GPT-4o, my impressions, my kind of like second impressions on it. The first impressions are on YouTube already. It's been 24 hours. We'll talk about that. And then I prepared a challenge that every single person here can participate in with, you know, some prices of like AI Advantage products that you can kind of win. Like, namely, the winner is going to get a yearly membership in the paid learning community that we have now. And I'm also happy to answer any questions that we have around that. But mostly, we'll get to collaborate and we'll get to discover the capabilities of GPT-4o together and compare. Like, that's the idea behind the challenge. Everybody will get to kind of do their own little research project and submit it on like a website that I'll share in a second here. And we wrote a whole guide on how to do it. That's going to be the challenge part. Totally optional, but for anybody watching, you know, you're gonna get to be kind of a silent bystander. As it's fully public, you will get to go in there and kind of look at the different submissions of the various people. So, you know, usually in our community, we have around 15 to 20. Sometimes if the challenge is really hard, it's like more 5 to 15. But we usually have like 15, 20 submissions of people completing one of these challenges. And now that we open it up to the YouTube, my hope is that we will be, I don't know, somewhere maybe out of 40, 50, 60 submissions of people that explored something in GPT-4o, found an actual improvement, and then they will share it with the entire community, and you will get to see it too. So this is the idea. It's going to be sort of you might call it challenge, but you also might call it a collaborative research project on what makes sense with this new model. And you will get to check it out. Even if you don't participate, it will be up. We will do a 7-day deadline on it, and that's pretty much the outline for today. But first things first, let's get it. Let's do this. I always wanted to do this. Let's play a little game. I just need to share my screen here. Before I do that, you know, I need to figure out how to start this PowerPoint slideshow. There you go. I think I did it. Is that okay? You know what? This presenter view is really not what I want, but there we go. There we go. Okay. So let me share my screen. Doc Rock, welcome to the chat. Larry, good to have you here. Good to see a lot of familiar faces. Euro Maestro. Such great questions here. I'll get to the chat here in a second, but first things first. Let's play a little game, everybody. How about that? So here's my screen. And let's just do this. I'll put up, you know what? I'll do it differently. Instead of the PowerPoint, I want to see chat, because if I do the PowerPoint here, it gives you this weird little presenter view. I don't have the nerve to figure that out right now. So what we'll do is I'll just pull up these images one by one, like so. Here's my screen. So chat, tell me, is this image, which one is AI and which one, we'll start with an easier one, okay? Left or right? I will set up a little poll in chat. Maybe no poll. Maybe no poll. Maybe you can just share. Okay. Let's do a poll. Okay. Left. Doing this for the first time, by the way. So have a little patience with me here. But left or right? Start poll. Let's do it. Which one do you think is AI? So vote on the one where you think that it is AI generated. Is it the left one or is it the right one? Bonus, if you're a real connoisseur, you will try and guess the model on this. Well, but that might actually be tricky. So you can do that. Which one is AI generated? And why? Why is also a good question, right? Why do you think this one is AI generated? Question not clear. Which one is AI generated? The right one or the left one? And then you will get to collect points. If you get 3 out of 3, man, you're a real one. You've been spending too much time at your computer. That's what I would say if you get all 3 out of 3. Because this one is the easiest one. The other ones are kind of tricky. Trick question? Nah, not really. The trees are a dead giveaway. Are they? So, it's a 50-50. Look at that. Nobody really knows. Nobody really knows. Yeah, it's a 50-50 right now. I'm kind of surprised by that. SDXL? Stable diffusion? Yes, it is stable diffusion. Is it the Neuschwanstein Castle? That's, I don't know, Sir Doc Rock. It might be. It might be. The shadows on the right tower, the color is more contrast. There's more contrast, dynamic range. That's why. Fantastic comments. Okay, so to reveal, yeah, but it's funny. The poll is 51 to 49%. So yeah, 51% of the people got it right. The right one is actually AI generated. I agree. You can see it in the trees, but you can also see it for me, like, this is like a giveaway. You know, they're super irregular here. Here, like a castle like this will always have consistent kind of architectural design, whatever you want to call it. Like up here, these little arcs, they will be consistent. This one is all over the place. Each one of them is different. But so anybody who got that right, you know, mark yourself with 1 point. I wonder who will get all 3, because the next one is not that easy, right? Haha. Which one is AI generated? And, you know, this... This is one that, you know, I don't know, my grandparents wouldn't be able to solve. That is for sure. That is for sure. This one is particularly tricky, I think. So let me know. Let me know. Which one is AI? I'll end this poll and I'll set up a new one. Which cat? So 53% of the people got it right. That's good. 150 votes. Which cat is AI generated? Maybe that's a better way to... Right or left? Let's see. Okay, so the poll is up. You can use the poll. That's the best way. But funny, like the last one, it was almost a 50-50, right? So people don't really know. That is interesting. That is interesting indeed. So what do you think? And then, you know, if you identified why is the one you chose AI generated? This is also a great way to learn together, right? You can just like check out the chats and get kind of like 20 tips on how to identify AI-generated images. Good little way to warm up before we talk about the new stuff here. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. More people streaming in. Great to have you here. We'll be hanging out, talking about Google I/O and talking about GPT-4o. I prepared a little challenge that you can participate in, kind of a collaborative research project. Excited to share that with everybody here. Okay, so maybe like 20 more seconds on this little cat. Don't forget to vote. Don't forget to vote. There's a poll in chat. Fantastic to see the interaction, by the way. 2/3 of the people that are here actually pressed the option in chat. So which one is AI and why? Okay. So the grand resolution. Let's wrap up the poll here. Again, it's 55% to 45%. It's very similar to the last one. I'll end the poll here. And ooh, explode. We have some of the AI imaging experts here. Left one, some of the whiskers. On the left, cat's face is getting pressed. Okay, interesting. What else do we have? On the right, it's not. Look at the left eye on the bottom. Looks bubbly with the texture. Huh? You think this eye looks bubbly with the texture? Well, I gotta tell you, that's wrong. This one is actually AI generated. The one on the right is AI generated. This is the actual picture. That's the thing with these like photorealistic things. It's so tricky, right? And I gotta say, like, even the depth of field used to be a giveaway for these things, where all of a sudden, like, the ear was perfectly in focus. But no, this is actually the AI generated image on the right side. Can see you? Yeah, that's true. I can add myself here. I figured we'll be looking at cats for a second and not at me, but hey, no problemo. Wait a second. I'll just add a little camera here. There we go. Is that better? That's better. Fair enough. Okay, I have one more. So 55% of the people got it right again, roughly. So let's see. Let's see if you can go free for free. So this is the last one I got here. It's a bus driver. Which one is AI generated? Let me set up this poll and then you can vote, okay? I'm really, like, it's also a great way to get a feeling for, you know, like, you guys are the most engaged people in the AI space. You are the ones following the announcements, following all the videos, all the updates. You are the people who are really plugged into this. If we can't get it right as a YouTube community, the heck are normal people gonna do that don't even care about this stuff? They have no chance at all, right? So which bus driver is AI generated? Right or left? Start poll. Let's do this. Now I'm curious to see this. Welcome to all the new people here in the stream. Great to have you here. Great to have you here. We're just doing a little warm-up where we guess which images are AI. It's just a great little way to get things started, I think. Left. The hands never lie. Good point. Good point. So which one would you think the hands are weird on? What's your a dead giveaway? AI doesn't get hands right. Good point on hands. The right one has brighter colors. The right. Right. Ooh, this one we have a majority. Look at that. 72% of the people are saying right. All right. All right. Okay. Good stuff. Okay, so I think we can wrap this up. This one actually is a bit of a, I wouldn't say a landslide, but we have 72% to 28%. Most people are saying the right one is AI generated. The funny thing about this is, well, first things first, you guys are correct. The right one is. So anybody who got 3 out of 3, and don't lie, come on, just share it. It's fine. Like, these are super hard. Especially, I think the cat was like almost, that was a curved ball. I'll admit that. I'll admit that. Right. Look at the smug. you think that you think his little smile over here is a dead giveaway that it's AI? But I gotta admit, that fist is a little weird, huh? But everything else about it, like, it looks sharper, right? But I'll give you a second one. Yeah, what's up with that seatbelt? 2 out of 3. Most people got 2 out of 3. 2 for 1. That's fair. Yeah, I think, honestly, I wouldn't have got the cat either. I wouldn't have got the cat. I would have went 2 for 1, but like, it's really in the details. Like, as you've seen with the first image, it's in the trees. Here, you can see the seat belt. Look at the seat belts. This is kind of a, I mean, come on. See, they don't make them like this. At least I don't know of a car that makes them like this. And then the hand is a bit awkward, but it's funny because it's so hyper realistic in the face and everywhere else. And this one is a little, you know, like slightly blurry. This is a higher quality image, so a lot of people, you know, might gravitate towards this. Euromaster has 3 out of 6. Okay, all right, man. You win this one, I suppose. The controls on the door. Ah, yeah, true. I missed this. So yeah, you gotta look in the details with this. So yeah, so that's a little lesson on how to spot deepfakes, I suppose. Now let's move on to our next topic for today. So just to reiterate, this was a little warm up. Now we're gonna briefly talk about GPT-4o. What's new? What use cases got me the most excited? We're preparing a video here. We'll probably be ready tomorrow on all the various use cases that OpenAI showed, but also that I found across the internet and the team helped me find across the internet. There's a lot of new things. So we'll talk about that in a second here. And then I prepared a sort of challenge where I will challenge every single person here and every single person watching the recording to actually participate in kind of a community research project where we will look at the differences between GPT-4 and GPT-4o. And we will look at use cases that make more sense in GPT-4o now than they did before. But first things first, we really got to talk about the upgrades here, okay? So I don't know how thorough I should make this. I'll be honest. I could blabber on for about 50 minutes for like about all the changes and the implications and like how I'm looking to use it and like how excited I am about the desktop app and the iPad app. Looks absolutely incredible. Or I could keep it super brief and just kind of give you a rundown in about 2 minutes of like what's new. I think actually saying it out loud, it feels to me like doing some like middle solution might be the sweet spot here. What do you guys think though? Like how much of a summary do you want? There is the YouTube video that gives you the summary. That is, you know, my very best attempt at doing it. By the way, it was so cool to create this YouTube video. It's a very different workflow from how I did it a few months ago, let's say, when these events kind of came out. because I literally spent like 3 hours and like live discussions with people talking about the stuff. And then I went ahead and kind of collected my thoughts, recorded it, and we edited it. By the way, shout out editing team working late into the night to get this out. These announcement times, they're not European friendly, let me tell you that. When the event happens at like, what was it, at 5 p.m., 6 p.m., then, you know, you're going to be creating that video until late into the night. But hey, we're here for it. I'm not complaining. I love this space. This stuff is still super interesting. Nevertheless, let me pull up the chat here so I can see what you guys think. Voice feature still rolling out. 5 minutes top line, 5 to 10 minutes. That sounds good. 1 minute summary. I think 1 minute we won't get to cover a lot of ground. 5 to 10 minutes. That sounds good to me, guys. I like it. Okay, so Doc Rock, member for 40 months. Hey, been here since day one. Doc Rock, really, thank you. It was great to be on your podcast, by the way. You're a real one. By the way, I watched one of your Recap tutorials on how to like improve something in live streaming. Anyway, so first things first, like let's talk about the main thing. I think let's talk about the things that got people confused, I think, because I'll assume that you've heard of GPT-4o. That's why you're in a live stream and not watching some summary video, right? What do we have today and what is coming, right? And why should you stay subscribed? This is the #1 comment and email that I received over the last days. Like, why should I even keep GPT-4, like the plus subscription? Well, today we have the 4o model, right? So, okay, let me share my screen. Let me do what I do and kind of like share my screen and talk at the same time and do all this stuff. Multitasker at heart. Well, actually, I'm not good at multitasking, but good at keeping multiplied years in my mind, which helps in this wild space. All right, so here's the interface. Okay, so what's new? Well, this is new. You have a new model in here, right? And yes, this is the GPT-2 that has been rumored. Anyway, so it's a new model. It's multimodal at heart. It's 2 times faster, but it's way more than 2 times faster. It comes also in an API that is 50% cheaper and 2 times faster. And it comes with a lot of promise of this voice assistant that they demoed in multiple ways that the internet is going crazy for, matter of fact. The voice assistant will come in the form of a phone app, and it will come in the form of a desktop app where you can share what your camera sees, or on the desktop, share what your screen sees, and it will be able to assist you. So essentially, you'll have something like this, where ChatGPT is over here and you're doing your work over here, and it sees your screen and you interact with it. You can use voice, and in real time it will respond. Now, there's many kind of subtopics to talk about. If you really care about all the nuances, check out the summary video. There I summarized it all. If you care about even like more nuances and like really all the nitty-gritty details, then their blog post does a fantastic job of kind of like showing you various use cases. I'm a big fan, you guys know I'm a big fan of use cases. I think the reason we're all here is like, how can I apply this to my life? How can I apply this to my business? How can I help people around me improve their lives with this tech? And I think they did a great job of showing that in here. They have these use case videos, and then they have this like little drop down where you can look at all the stuff that is new. Now, there is so much. Look, like literally these hidden features, like you can upload like it can render 3D objects now. It can, what's another exciting one here? It can do typography now. Where's this one? It can create, it does typography perfectly. It does character design, and it has character consistency. But I want to highlight 2 of them that I really found mind-blowing. One of them was this tutoring example where a dad and his son sit down and they kind of use the iPad interface. Let's just have a brief look into this. I think, a picture says more than 1,000 words, and let's look at a few pictures here.
Inside to the angle alpha. The hypotenuse is the longest side of a right triangle and is directly opposite the right angle. Can you find which one is the hypotenuse?
Oh, okay, I see. So, I think the hypotenuse is this really long side from A to B. Would that be correct?
Exactly. Well done.
So you get the point. It sees your screen. You can interact with it. I think this is extremely capable. And I already shared this with some people that I talked about this. I think the #1 thing to do here is kind of like start analyzing your life. Maybe look at your dock if you have a Mac, or like the apps that you frequent on a Windows machine. Look at the apps that you frequent on a phone and think about how a tutor like this could help you in your everyday life. I think that is kind of like one of the big takeaways here. You're going to be able to use this AI assistant in tandem with other applications. If you do video editing, you can have this open next to it and you can kind of get feedback on color correction and editing decisions and sound design and all that. If you use Photoshop, you can explore creative techniques and let it do that. If you use it for writing, you can let it analyze your text without having to copy paste the stuff over. It just unlocks a lot of these things, which right now were a little too cumbersome for everyday people to implement into their lives. I think that's kind of the bottom line of this. And we will have an AI tutor for all software, right? This is, as we talked about many times on the channel, this is the next evolution and the next phase for software. And if that's the case, then you need to start thinking about what kind of software are you using today that can be empowered with something like this. Because this is not available today, okay? So this is where a lot of confusions arose. So what we have today is this GPT-4o model. Has way more capabilities, a few of the things I outlined and more. But this voice assistant and this app and this desktop app, these are yet to come. Now, let me check chat briefly here and see what's up. A helpful teacher is better than that. I would agree, but not everybody can afford a helpful teacher, right? Like I say this in the next video, like I recorded kind of the first half of it. And I was saying this example, like I was thinking back to times in my school career where I was stuck. And not just stuck, I was hard stuck with some of these problems. I remember the accounting class, I was around 16, and there were problems that I couldn't wrap my head around it. My mom couldn't help me with it. None of my friends in school understood what was going on. The teacher, I suppose I could have asked for help. I don't know, I just didn't. I suppose I should have asked for help, but there's only so much she can help with, right? If you're completely lost, like how does she catch you up? We couldn't afford a tutor back then. So like, what do you do? What do you do? Your friends don't know, your family doesn't know. You kind of like missed it in class because you were maybe distracted with other stuff. Okay, I'll admit that. Fair enough. Maybe I should have paid more attention, but it was always a weakness of mine. Like I was never good at accounting stuff. And then what do you do? Now I could have opened up this and kind of took my textbook and applied this to what I was doing, what I was learning. Often there's no option, right? Is a human better? Yes, but it's not always an option. So I think, a combination, like this is a whole, we could make this an entire 3-hour stream, and I actually would kind of love this discussion, but we might have to rethink education with this, because really a combination of humans and these assistants might be a better option than what we have now. What do I know? I'm just a tech enthusiast that is keeping up to date with all of this and trying to make the best of what we have. Okay, but nevertheless, I think this is fascinating, and my point is, you can apply this example to your life, whether you're learning math or not. You can apply this to any software that you're using, to any problem that you're solving. You can have kind of an assistant that will help you out. This is coming over the next few weeks, okay? There's one more that I want to show you off here with these show you and discuss here. Also, I'm curious to see what you guys think. That this is just my perspective. I understand that the human factor is something unique. Pigeon disagrees. He's like, I think a human is way worse. Okay, that's I don't know about that take, but like, okay. Okay. Education is the prime issue, I see. Yeah, super interesting discussion here. This is what I love about doing these lives. Chess GM incoming. I'm an educator. I do also think education as a whole should be re-engineered. Yeah, I think I would agree with that. Yeah, but there's a lot of nuance to that discussion, right? We won't solve that here in a quick live stream. Can you confirm that the voice feature will be free also? Okay, so this is my understanding. This is one of the main questions. This is my understanding of it. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is what I gathered from talking to other AI YouTubers. By the way, we did a great stream yesterday with MadvidPro and Theoretically Media. I linked it in the other video. We watched it together, then we had a discussion. But basically, this is what I arrived at with them, with the AI Advantage community, with my team. Here's the deal. And correct me if I'm wrong. Like, this is what my research indicates. I'm, just a guy that is really into this stuff. The voice feature, as we see it here, this voice assistant, this low latency, interactive, emotionally aware assistant will only be available to Plus users. Not yet. It's coming over the course of the next weeks, but this is a plus feature. Free users will get GPT-4o with voice input, right? I think that one I'm not sure about, but free users will not get this assistant. And there will be, we don't know exactly how low because the free rollout hasn't begun yet, but there will be very low, my guess would be maybe a few messages per hour rate limits, which means message limits on the free version, okay? So by the way, community members already tested this. You have around 80 messages per hour with the new 4o, right? Which is roughly 5 times more than you had before. So that is exciting. I think it was like 40 messages in 3 hours, I think, before. Now you have 80 messages per hour. So that's amazing. So with the Teams plan, you get the higher rate limit and you get the voice assistant. Now, please, I'm looking at chats. Is that correct? I'm like 80% confident on that assistant thing, but they never said it like explicitly in the live stream, in the blog post. This is me reading in between the lines. Correct. Yeah, I think that's the case. So if anybody can challenge that with some data to back it up, Mira said in live it will be coming to all users. Yeah, but she said the 4o will be coming to users, not the advanced voice assistant. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, good. So that's the basic wrap up of what's new. I'll give you a few points that are massively improved. I won't go in depth into all of these, but the speed limits, they apply to all the other tools. So now you can quickly use the web browsing function. You can quickly use the code interpreter. The imaging tools have a massive upgrade. I didn't get to test this at all yet. I made kind of the other stuff a priority. But as you can see in some of these drop downs, the image generation tools are massively improved. And a lot of other improvements. It's more conversational now. There's less emojis. And it's better with emotional awareness with its vision. It's the best in class vision. I think that is the most important part that I tested and that I can confidently say. It's the best vision we have today with all AIs. Is the improved vision model already in 4o? Yes. 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 Okay. Docs uploading, yes, also available. Also improved speed. All the tools that you already have, everything benefits from the improved speed. So, okay, let me give you just a quick demo here. If we're like, okay, you know, find me all the Google I/O news from the past 24 hours and compile it into a bullet point list. Make it concise with suggestions on how to implement it into my everyday workflow as a AI, as a Gen AI. That's important in ChatGPT to define that. Gen AI YouTube content creator with a focus on practical use cases. Let's see what it gets here. So here it should engage the web search, right? And as you know, usually, oh my God, I don't know, this is too fast. This is too fast. Usually this stuff took like a minute, right? This took so long, and there you go. So a few improvements here to be pointed out. It pulls multiple links now. It's super fast. Look, it pulled 5 different links here. And the speed improvement means that you can iterate on it now. So let's see. What did it give us? Integration with Gmail, messages, and YouTube. AI-generated images and text summarization capabilities. Cool. Gemini on Android. Improved AI-driven functionalities, including image and video generation. Yes, the video generator they announced. Then you have Gemini Nano on-device AI model integrated into Chrome for devs. You have... Why am I going top to bottom? I don't know. Sorry. Next-gen integrated development environments, IDE. So these are developer updates, open source frameworks for building AI-powered applications quickly. I'm particularly interested. What about their version of GPTs? I believe these are referred to as, what was the name? Was it nanos or was it gems or something like that? or something like that. Look at this like, oh my God, this ambiguous prompting. Jesus, no, it's not great. But like, okay, let's see. So fast, right? So I think this is kind of the main point here. The speed improvements came to all tools. And now all of these like, and the search is not bad now. So let's see, what did it give me? Gemini AI and okay, we have Gemini and Gmail in Workspace. We have Gemini Nano. We have AI generated content. We have Gemma 2, Gemini Live, a mobile experience for natural conversations. AI and accessibility. Okay. And then it gives me these suggestions here that I could create a step-by-step tutorial video demonstrating how to use Gemini for drafting and summarizing emails. Sure. Okay, but it doesn't show me info. Run a new internet search. But look, the entire point here was to show you the speed, to show you how the speed translates to these tools. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just made you know, search usable now. Gemini Ultra. Okay. Okay, let's not get too deep into this. You get the point though, right? So gems, that's the word. Okay. They are called, thanks chat. Yeah. Let's be realistic. The only thing they actually launched is a slightly better LM for premium accounts. The rest is coming soon. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. I think the direction they're taking the workspaces in, that is like the number one thing I personally want to see out of Google. I want to see them integrate all the different apps and the different ecosystems that they have and give all that context to one assistant. That is something that OpenAI will have a very hard time competing on, because you will have to, you know, build those external dependencies. Like if you're creating a GPT and you wanted to have access to your Google Calendar and your Notion, you gotta, you know, like host an API endpoint, create the schema with a separate GPT, import that, make sure the API is up, and then you need to prompt it inside of the GPT. So you need to be proactive. Whereas a lot of the Google Workspace integrations, I think they could just run passively. But hey, like API, OpenAI hasn't made their, I don't like this word, but agentic play or whatever. They will have these passive functions too. It's just a question of time. Show the voice feature. I wish I could, Tim Rod. I wish I could. So that's the thing. It's not rolled out yet, right? So in my app, I have GPT-4o, but the new assistant with the new improved voice capabilities, it's not out yet. It's still the old assistant. Hey, what's up? It's thinking. It's.
Hey there. Not much. Just here to help.
Hey, I would like to interrupt you like they did yesterday, but it's, yeah. How is that going?
If you have any questions or need help with something,
yeah, it's still the old assistant, so we'll have to wait for the new one. Voice feature still rolling out, exactly right. Yes. Also, kind of funny, like one of the funniest things on Twitter, and okay, so let's get into the challenge part here. But one of the funniest things on Twitter is, you know, this comment of like, oh, so OpenAI, you know, Microsoft bought 49% of OpenAI, and there's no Windows app, really. Like that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. Please don't spam the chat. One message at a time, okay? I think some of the mods in here, you know, can time out people if that happens again. Okay, my voice chat hasn't been working today. Waiting for the voice feature and live video so bad. Yeah, I think we all are. Honestly, that's going to be so exciting. But now we talked about this. Is there anything else you guys would like to point out or any questions you have? I mean, I have the summary video about everything. We're creating a use case video where I look into all the use cases OpenAI shares, plus more stuff that we discovered as a team, as a community, all across the internet. It's all going to be compiled into one video that will be coming. So, you know, I don't think that's the point here. Like, we will do that. We will edit it down. We will do our kind of, you know, our editing style, and we'll post that. But I think here, like, the big advantage we have here is we have a big group of people. Look at that, 453 people live here. Okay, so here's the idea. Guys, okay, let me take a sip here. This is a brand new idea. I'm kind of like venturing out into unexplored territory here with this YouTube channel. I think generally, I believe this has not been done in the AI space yet on YouTube, right? What I'm gonna do here in the following 10 minutes is I'm going to challenge you to explore the differences between GPT-4 and 4o and to share the results on a platform that we set up. You can freely do that. And then there's going to be prizes. We're going to judge it. Maybe we'll turn it into second event judging it. I haven't thought about that part yet. Maybe just an announcement. Let's see what we get. But basically, we're going to be researching the advantages of GPT-4o together as a group of AI enthusiasts that are into this. Because let's be real. It's May 14th, 2024. Most people have tried ChatGPT, but they're not actually using it on a daily basis. You guys, including me, by the way, we're the freaky ones that are like getting into this stuff and using it for our workflows. Well, matter of fact, maybe it's just like freaky from like a normal person, from like a normie perspective. Should we use that word? I don't know if that's not a fair word, but the point is like we found these use cases that make our life more efficient. Like you would have to pay me quite a bit of money to abandon the usage of ChatGPT for like a month. Like it's, you know, and it's nowhere close to $20. Like it's super useful in my everyday workflows. And I suppose it's the same for you. That's why you're here. That's why you're following this content. That's why you're following these announcements. But most people, here, my point is this, most people are not in that mode of operating yet. Most people tried the free version of ChatGPT, ran a simple prompt, concluded that it's not that useful, and then moved on with their life. And they don't think about these things. Like, just think about this. I talked about this with the group of like other AI YouTubers. Like, even the most viewed videos, the ones that go like kind of viral and the channels that get the most views in this space, those views are, you know, at maybe 300,000 people views. That's not people, right? That means that's like 200,000 unique viewers on the big videos in this space. Think about that. On a worldwide scale, that's nothing. If you're interested in AI today, you're an early adopter. That's just what it is. It's not the norm. Most people tried this stuff. There's over 100 million ChatGPT users, right? Sure, but how many daily active users? And how many daily active users that sent like more than one message or something? You know? So, a rare breed, indeed. Okay. I don't know about some of these takes here, but we together speak 50 plus languages. That's true. That is true. I mean, you've seen it in the beginning. Like if you put a word, oh, it'd be cool to have some kind of software that could take, maybe, yeah, somebody should make that. Like a plugin for YouTube chat, where if people post the countries where they're from, it puts like pins into it. That'd be so cool. Anyway, just a random idea there. Just a random OpenAI wrapper idea. Okay. The less daily users, the more limits we get. LMAO, yeah, that's true. We're the loners. Yep. Also fair. For some. Okay, so what's the deal here? What are we gonna do? We're the front runners. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Ooh, we're the front runners. Welcome, Daniel. Ooh, Doc Rock speaks 5 languages. There you go. I speak 3 at this level, and then I got a little French. I had it for 5 years in school, you know? Je parle un peu. Yeah. All right. So, what are we going to do here? Let me share my screen here. Okay. This is the plan. Okay, so, actually, let me intro it first. So, we're going to research GPT-4o together. How are we going to do it? Me and my team created a challenge document that is going to take you step by step. It's going to take you by the hand, and it's going to guide you through the process of comparing one use case. You can do multiple if you want, but one use case before with GPT-4 or GPT-3.5, and now after with GPT-4o. Okay? So, what are the exact details of that? I will share my screen here in a second. I will show you all the nitty-gritty details, but basically, as you might know, we shifted everything that we have built over the last year and a half to a paid community model now, right? I don't think this is a secret. I mentioned it in many videos. It's honestly like 70% of my efforts have been going in that direction. But now I'm looking to like rebalance it with the YouTube, because my idea was like before, you know, when it was the model of like, hey, okay, I have like, you know, products like an ebook and a course, and then the YouTube is here. They're not really connected. When you're putting effort into updating a course or an ebook, you're taking away effort from the YouTube. And when you're putting effort into making better YouTube content, then you're taking away effort here. The only way to align these two is really by doing a community, because the YouTube really, like, look at that. It's 450 people here. this really is a community of AI enthusiasts. So I decided to do the same thing where we just cover different things, okay? And this is not like a webinar or like a promo thing for the community, but I think the whole idea is like it's so aligned that the stuff that we do in the community would be amazing to do with the YouTube too. So we're gonna be sharing guides from in there. We're gonna be sharing live event recordings from in there. And we'll also be going to hosting some of these challenges publicly, because one of the things we discovered is that actually challenging AI enthusiasts to do a specific task with AI, like use the code interpreter for this type of task, or like create a song with this brand new tool that came out yesterday, or compare results between GPT-4 and GPT-4o, is actually an amazing way to stay on top of AI, and is actually one of the best way to kind of stay engaged with the space, build practical skills, and have this community aspect, which a lot of us just don't have. Like, let's be real. Most of my time I spend on my couch over there with my laptop, and I'm just like kind of looking at stuff, right? And it's just like the good old like shrimp, and you know, I just do my thing. It's very you know, very interesting and also rewarding and everything, but it's also very kind of like isolated and lonely at sometimes. So we get to change that. We get to do live streams like this, and we get to host challenges where we actually get to compare what you did and what you explored with other people. And here for the first time, we're gonna do this in a public setting, okay? So we have this like community, and there's a free area that we set up, okay? That's what I'm gonna show you right now. And in the free area, you're gonna get to look at the guide, you're gonna get to submit or not. Maybe you just decide to like check out what other people have been doing, and that's fine too. But basically, in this free area, you will have the ability to sign up with a free account. It's built on Circle, by the way, if you're familiar, and then share your findings with the others or review what other people have found. Essentially, it's a community research project on what ChatGPT-4o is good at, and we're making it kind of like, we're initiating it. I think over the last 1.5 years, I found myself in this unique spot to do cool stuff like this. So might as well take advantage of it, right? If we can get 400 people in a room and tell them, hey, you're excited about GPT-4o. How about you find one thing that it does better than the previous model and then share it with the others? We're all gonna learn and grow together. So if I can do that, might as well do it, right? So that's what's happening here. Okay, let me share my screen. What does this look like? I just have to pull up the right tab over here. Okay. All right, this is what it looks like. Haha. Okay, so this is the default view. And what I'm talking about, like, you can ignore all these locked parts. Okay, this is like the community. But basically, we set up this free space where, you know, we provide a few guides, a few event recordings. There's going to be more over time. But this is what I'm talking about, the public challenge. This is how we usually do them. We have a post that excites you, that welcomes you. It tells you the clear goal of this challenge. And then the criteria by which we will judge it 7 days from now, okay? So as soon as this, it's gonna be 7 days from the beginning of this live stream. It's gonna be the deadline on this challenge. And here's a step-by-step guide on how to do it, okay? So we'll go through the step-by-step guide together. We prepared like one quick draft submission that has been created with the usage of ChatGPT, but also a unique use case, right? So like you don't have to be gifted at writing or anything like that. What we care about here is outlined here. We care about your creativity. We care about if the use case is useful at all, and we care about you comparing it to what it does in GPT-4. If you can do these 3 things, then you will be judged by me and 2 other team members that host other challenges, namely Matthias and Larry. And we're going to decide which one of these is the best. And then, you know, to have some prize, we're gonna say that, you know, first prize gets a yearly membership in the community. Second and third prize get a monthly membership. Plus, if you win the first prize, I would also be happy to talk to you if you decide to do so. Like if you win this, I'd be very happy to schedule like a 30-minute call with you and kind of just like talk about whatever. Or if you have a podcast, I'll gladly come on. Something like that. You get 30 minutes of my time. This I just came up with on the spot. But hey, if you win this, I would be more than happy to talk to you. So I don't know. That's some incentive structure. But honestly, I just think this is a super cool thing that, you know, a year ago, I only wished I could do, and now we can do it. So what are we going to do? Well, very simple. Like, you're going to follow these 4 steps, and then you're going to create a post in here if you want to participate. If you just want to watch, again, that's fine. But basically the challenge is this. You're gonna go in here, you're gonna hit the, I'm gonna show you my logged in account. So, you know, I have an admin account, but that's fine. Okay, you're basically just gonna go in here, public challenge. Once you sign up, which is completely free, by the way, it's just like a private social media network. You can just sign up very simply here with your name, email, and the password. That's it. You just sign up. Then you're gonna be able to create a new post in here, right? And in the new post, you're just gonna fill out and like prepare a challenge submission. And I think you should be able to do this in, you know, I don't know, 2 to 5 minutes. I think you can absolutely use ChatGPT to aid you in it. We kind of prepared a structure for you to do it. Again, we're doing this for the first time on the YouTube. I just think this is a thing that we should do. And we can absolutely discuss like what kind of things would be interesting here with GPT-4o here in a second. But basically, you're going to follow the step-by-step guide and share it in a new post, okay? So number one, familiarize yourself with this new model. Okay, you can check out the announcement. You can check out the YouTube video that I created. You can check out other videos. I believe everybody in the stream will have familiarized themselves. First of all, because we just talked about it. Secondly, because let's be real, you spent a significant amount of time throughout the last 24 hours either exploring this stuff yourself or watching announcements. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. So, you know, familiarize yourself and then look at what it can do, okay? Look at what it can do and then apply it to your context. Now, look, we're keeping this open on purpose. If you want to do something on writing blogs, you can do that. If you want to do something on writing poems, you can do that. If you want to do something on using the code interpreter to analyze Google Trends data that is applicable to your business that sells mugs with Star Wars pictures on them to dog lovers, you can do that. It doesn't matter. We're not going to judge it by how useful this would be to everybody. We're going to judge it by the quality. Well, we're going to judge it by the stuff that we outlined here in the judging criteria. Like how creative is the use case, how useful it is to you, not to everybody. It's not a generalized contest. How actually useful is that? Maybe you come up with a use case that is like game-changing for your Star Wars mug-selling business, and then that is fine. And then we're gonna contrast it between the GPT-4 and the GPT-4o answer. So we're looking for a large delta between 4 and 4o. So what is the use case that didn't make much sense before, but now is killer? Okay, that's what we're looking for here. So one thing is for sure. A lot of community members are gonna like submit here anyway. So if you check in a few days, you're gonna see some submissions and some use cases that make a lot of sense with GPT-4o. But beyond that, I'm looking forward to seeing how many people will participate and what you guys will come up with essentially. Okay, let me review chat here a little bit. You can do everything: presentations, PowerPoint, docs. Yes, anything that you can use GPT-4o for goes here. Okay. I see a lot of like people here already that have some ideas. Turned off. If you don't like attention, that is perfectly fine. That is perfectly fine. You can do it fully anonymously. I will if you just win, I would just contact your email. You know, you can keep it anonymous, or you can just like watch, right? I think a lot of people will be interested in looking at that. But a lot of like long-term people like Neo Nomad here from day one, you know, here from day one. I remember live streams back in like December 2022. Neo Nomad was here already. Like, I would love to see what you come up with, what you're using it for, what you can improve. Do we get credit for the research? 100%. 100%. Yeah. If it's really good, I'm happy to create a separate YouTube video on it. And like, you can hop on if you want. To tally option. No, I'm not promising that. I'm just saying like full credit for all the research you do. Yes. Absolutely. Okay, so, you know, let's not spend like too much time on this, more than is necessary. There's a lot to talk about here, a lot of other stuff. But basically, you know, conduct your research. Find a use case and compare it, contrast it with GPT-4 versus GPT-4o. And then share your findings. Now, how are you going to do this? We prepared a little kind of template here. You can do it with these 4, right? If you're using ChatGPT, you can just kind of copy them and go into a new chat and just kind of be like, wait, this is an anonymous browser, right? No, it's not. You can just kind of go in here and do something like here is the template. And then maybe you would proceed it with like, I researched use case XYZ, describe your use case. And now I want to share it with this template. Something as simple as this. I mean, you guys know like what to do, but basically something as simple as this can help you get started with a draft. That would work. We're not judging the quality of your writing. We're judging the quality of your use case. So if you use these 4 points and you share it here, again, this is a step-by-step guide, so you can like follow every word in here. Here's some optional challenges in the end. But if you just follow this and you share it in this space in a new post, again, I'll just kind of like show this. We have a first submission here. That is fantastic. Salvino, thank you so much. Over the last year, I've delayed and delayed again, creating a list of all my books. I took a picture of my bookshelf, submitted to the GPT-4o, and asked it to identify all the books. This is incredible. Salvino, thumbs up. Look at that. Search info online and list as a formatted bibliography, and it worked in minutes. I had tried with GPT-4, but it was so full of mistakes. And now it's really good. See, it could be as simple as this. I think that's actually amazing. You can sort books with it. That's one I would have never thought of. See, this is excellent. So yeah, simple as that. You go in here, you can either share it as a with the template here, or you can make it as simple as Salvino. Again, we're not judging the quality of the presentation. We're judging the quality of your idea and the usefulness of it to you, right? Again, everything is outlined in the document, but I'm really excited about this idea, and that's all there is to it. Like, winner, gets like a membership, and call with me if you want to. I don't know, for whatever that's worth. If you have you get full credit for the idea. If it's really good, you bet we're gonna feature it on the YouTube. But I will always ask you for consent first. If you want to stay anonymous, we can do that too. But anyway, this is the whole idea. That's all there is to it. Public challenge has been issued. There is a link in chat. It's basically community.myaiadvantage.com. And then you can just sign up for free to the platform. It's Circle. And you can just submit in here. Or you can just check out what other people want. We have some free event recordings here. Here I show you how to build a GPT that uses Stripe checkout as an action. Here Philip from the community shows you how to build automation that uses GPT-4 and make.com to craft draft emails from every single mail that comes into your Gmail. To kind of a little technical, but like you don't need any previous technical knowledge for this stuff, okay? And then we have like some guides here. We created a video on this one. This one is crazy good because like the results are fantastic. It's just like a Midjourney, very simple Midjourney prompt that creates like essentially deepfakes, I suppose. And then this one is, this one is by Hades. Hades So Skilled. Look at that. How to create product mockups for your business with Midjourney, essentially. How to bring a concept to life and generate mockups of different products that you bring in. Like step by step, you have all the details. You could check it out here. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them, but I don't want to like, if you want more details about the community, you can find it. I'll just leave it at this, okay? If you go to myaiadvantage.com, the website /community, we prepared a sales page that outlines all the details. Happy to answer this, but like today it's really about the challenge, and it's about getting the people on YouTube together to explore the new use cases. And that's what I got for here. So link is in the description. And yeah, happy to answer any questions now. And let's talk about GPT-4o some more. So cool that we have the first submission already. Yeah, this should be interesting, Like we usually run this with like 20 people participating. And now we might potentially have, I don't know, 50, 100, maybe more. Let's see. Super curious to see. But yeah, this was one of the ideas where I was like, gosh, not many people on this earth can do something like this. Not many people on earth can challenge hundreds of AI enthusiasts that gather in one place to actually share a part of their life and a part of their workflow and learn from each other. We get to do this on the YouTube, so might as well. Yeah, Mishmash, it has a free section. We started, so like, it's super fresh. We've been building it since 6 months, but it's only open since a month. We created the free section last week. There's also a chat. It's kind of a replacement for the Discord, right? By the way, we shut down the Discord because it was like pretty much dead. And we couldn't, like, I couldn't deliver the quality of a community experience that I envisioned, the quality level in the Discord, because our focus was to split. So like I shut down the course, I shut down everything, the Discord, shut down, no more consulting. Everything is YouTube, for news and how-tos and community into more deep dives and social interaction all around AI and regular guides and everything. That's the idea, like full focus. And then, you know, fun speeches and podcast appearances and stuff here and there, but there you go. Yeah, so I think it's really cool. I hope you guys get get as much value and like joy out of this as I do. Yeah, that might be hardly possible because like stuff is really fun to me, but is this like an active thing? I'm a chronic lurker. So it depends. So like the whole thing has been set up for passive consumers. We have an entire department which is all about like passive learning. So with the course and 40 hours of event recordings and guides and everything. And then there's also a community area where we hold multiple events a week and we have discussions and stuff. You can absolutely just consume the passive content and watch the active content, but you get the option of participating if you choose to do so. You know, so if something like this comes out and you're like, hey, I would really like a live discussion with some other people, or at least listen into a live discussion, then you can check out one of the recordings of the live discussions. Yeah, it's about, you know, you can get both experiences. I understand that. I'm in many communities and usually I'm a lurker too. I get that. Ooh, this is a good question. Can you post a question to chat if there are any wrappers for the 4o API that people use versus VS Code extensions, etc.? Yeah, so there you go. Consider yourself asked, chat. Actually, there's this like feature in Ecamm, God, that I should be using. Haha, there you go. So if anybody knows, this is great, look at that. Is there any wrappers that you use? So I believe Cursor has added GPT-4o support, right, in the last 24 hours. Also Make.com added it. That's why I'm a big fan of Make lately versus Zapier. They're so quick with the AI updates. Zapier, I believe, still doesn't have the latest GPT-4 Turbo version. Yeah. So there you go. If anybody has an answer to this question, please answer George. Can't load on work software. I have to wait until I get my toys at home. Yes. How often are these live streams? So on YouTube, we haven't done one in a few months because I have to be honest, like I only have so much time and I really did. I think I overdid it. I like focused too much on like the community building aspect. And I want to restart YouTube live streams. I realize this is what I enjoy most. Hanging out with people that like have similar interests and discussing this. Okay, so we covered some of the bases here. I think we covered most of the questions. Can we submit more than one use case? I would say up to 3. Yes, you can. Yeah, but so I want to get back to live streaming on YouTube more. Absolutely. Covering these topics as they happen. Doing live demos. I think there's a lot of value in like live exploration. Like one thing that I have in my mind, like I would love to do a challenge like this more often, maybe once a month or something. Like when Sora comes out, like let's do a film festival on here. Like a mini, you know, film hackathon thing. Like there's so many great opportunities that you can only do in a live environment like this. All right. So we could keep talking about Google I/O, but I don't know, my sense from the chat is that most of the excitement still is around the GPT-4o. So how about the little live prompting session where we test some things? Okay, anybody who has questions, we have mods in chat that will gladly help you out with the little technicalities. Yeah. Are you on the free? Okay. Yeah. Also great to have some community members here. What's up, Helm? Chris, welcome on board. All right. So I would say let's do some live GPT-4o prompting. And then actually some submissions are coming in. Doc Rock actually shared one of his use cases already. Tell me the important specs of this microphone. He uploaded a PDF file. Interesting. So this should become very interesting. Like legit, you know, you can bookmark this and check it out over the course of the next week, what gets added. I believe everybody, even with an account, is able to check out some of the submissions. I will certainly do my very own submission. I know team members will. So there's gonna be like a minimum of like, yeah, I don't want to say a number, but there's gonna be, you know, dozens of submissions for sure. Okay, so let's test some GPT-4o stuff, shall we? And I don't know, like I'm open to suggestions. What should we do together? Like we can pretty much take this anywhere. I certainly have some time left. Now we're streaming since about an hour and 10. I think we can do a solid 30 minutes from here. You still have the new UI, does that matter? Good question, Pigeon, actually. That is a fantastic question. Let me share my screen. Let me show you what to do if you don't have it inside of your Plus subscription, or maybe if you don't have a Plus subscription. You just go to Playground OpenAI, and you can absolutely use it in here. Now, here you will need. I'm not sure if it comes preloaded with credits as of now. If there's a few dollars in free credits, but here you do need some credits loaded into your account. I believe, yeah. So I have like $95 in credits. You should, you know, if you load like $2 or $3, it should allow you to use the Playground already. And then in here, you can, you know, use GPT-4. You can use GPT-4o, and this is, I should have showed this. You can compare it to, so you can run a prompt, you know. Write me an essay about penguins. What else would I run? And let's run it. So I guess this is what we'll do. We'll use some of my Playground credits to compare GPT-4. Look at the speed difference. Insane, huh? And then I'll take some specialty prompts here that we shared with our newsletter over the last months, and we can run these in here. By the way, we're working on kind of a new resource. We're gonna update our free resource to everybody. Basically, guys, there's gonna be so much like valuable AI stuff coming your way, because the community allowed me to kind of create a structure where I can create 5 times the value that I could on YouTube alone. Like we're 5 full-time people with 5 more people helping out on like a half-time basis approximately. So it's 10 people working at this versus just me and 1 editor working on it like a year ago, right? Or a year and a half ago. So, and the concept is like the long form stuff is going to go in there, but a lot of guides and a lot of stuff is going to trickle down to here. So, and we're going to get to produce a lot more content, resources, higher quality newsletters, videos. Like it's gonna enhance all the, that's why like it was like a longer term play to focus on the community, I think. So this is more sustainable and we can give you even more valuable insights. And one of the things that we produced is a little database of previous prompts that we have used. So I'm just gonna take some like random prompts from my little database here and see what the differences are between GPT-4o and GPT-4. How about that? I think that sounds reasonable. Let's see. Okay, I'll just start with like some random prompts that I have laying around that I enjoy. How about this? How about this one? Let's see. This is just something that I generated recently. Create a step-by-step engagement plan for increasing viewer interactions in your next 5 videos. That works. Include strategies for AI-driven prompts, Gen AI-driven prompts to encourage comments and shares considering your analytics. For, let's say, let's add a little bit of video, educational content. Let's maybe add a target audience. AI enthusiasts. 35 to 55, believe it or not, that is the main target audience. By the way, did you guys know that this channel has the most ladies in the AI space? I see you, ladies. Thank you for being here. Thank you for learning with us. Yeah, I compared stats. This was like one of the interesting findings with some of the other AI YouTubers, and it turns out AI Advantage has 12% female viewers, which is just great. It means we have 27 ladies in chat here. Is that true? 30? Either way, great to have you here. We're all learning together. So AI enthusiasts, but you know, we're still like mostly male, and US based. So I'll add that. I'll add teaching style, practical focus on everyday skills. And then we'll do, what else would be relevant here? I think that's good for a start. Let's see what we get. Now it's going to be including the penguin essay as context. It doesn't matter, I think, here. Actually, it might. It might. Let me redo this. Compare GPT-4, GPT-4o. Let's see. Let's use Turbo. Fair enough. Run. Let's see what we get. This comment. I'm a guy, but I'm gay. Thanks for sharing, man. Everybody's welcome here. Is GPT-4 gonna give us DALL-E free for free? Hamza with 4 A's? That's a great question. I think so. That's a good question I haven't like confronted yet. What do you guys think? Is it gonna give us DALL-E for free? I think so. Puppies is flirting with the ladies here. He says, okay. Okay, so let's have a look. Before, after. Okay. Creating an engagement plan for your next 5 videos tailored to your target audience. Da, da, da. Okay, so it's more conversational. This we know, right? The 4o model. Oh, by the way, we should raise the limits here with the maximum tokens. That's okay. It's gonna, you know, eat up more tokens, but that's okay. Okay, let's see. So it's more conversational. That's one thing that we'll notice right away. 4o, it's more like talking to somebody. What else do we have? Video 1, introduction to practical AI applications in everyday life. There's a hook. Quick demo of AI tools, content, engagement, prompt, analytics. Let's see, engagement prompt. What everyday task would you like to automate with AI? Let me know in the comments. Actually, this is a great question. Chat, what everyday tasks would you like to automate with AI? Let me know in the comments. Hey, good job, GPT-4o. Thank you for running the stream. Appreciate that. Okay, analytics, track comments and shares to see which tools resonate most with your audience. This is great. Actually, like if we see something recurring here, we might just create videos on that topic. So please share. DALL-E is not free. DALL-E is paint tool. DALL-E is not free. No, it's on the... Interesting. Not sure about that. Do you have any females in your member space? Yeah, actually many. Well, yeah, I would say like a solid 20, maybe even 30% of yeah. Judging by the live event attendance, yeah. Yeah, actually yesterday we had a great conversation around kind of like using these vision modules for children and raising children, and how important it is for them to kind of like learn these tools very early on already, because this world is it's not going back. Anyway, so okay, so this is more conversational to get back on topic. This is more straight to the point, I suppose. What about the video? A lot of similarities. This gives you a step-by-step. Okay. This is going to be a bit tricky, huh, to evaluate something detailed like this, because we really would have to read every single line. What kind of use cases would you guys like to compare? Yeah. Try comparing it to 3.5. Yeah, I think that's a fair conclusion. A fair comparison. I mean, a less fair comparison, but a better contrast. That's what I was trying to say. Here, the conclusion is the same. Yeah, this is gonna be a bit tricky on a prompt like this because it really comes down to kind of like your domain knowledge of content creation, and then you have to make like value judgments along the way of on the quality of this. I mean, that's one big learning, you know, like no matter how good your prompts are or like how astute you are with the usage of these tools, if you don't know anything about the domain that you're navigating, you can have a very skilled assistant, but if you're not a skilled operator, then you're still going to be lost. And for that, I would need to read every single word. So let's do a 3.5 comparison. I like that. Let's see how this goes. Run. Okay, let's redo this. Maybe let's take other prompts. Maybe let's take, after this, let's take prompts that are maybe more specialized. Oh, and also, by the way, it just occurred to me, anybody who participates in the challenge, if you like win one of the prizes, it will be like, if you're already a member, it will be just added to your membership, right? So it will just be extended. Yeah, it's kind of a one detail. Okay, so 3.5. Let me have a look at this for a second. Just gives you the general steps. This is certainly more actionable. It has an intro segment. It goes into more details. Yeah, I mean, let's be real. Like even 3.5 and 4, like what are we doing comparing that here? It's just day and night. I don't think I'd be using AI daily if I was stuck with 3.5. Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Yeah, it's just day and night. Like this is not even worth the analysis. Let me find some more interesting prompts here for you, okay? So meanwhile, you can Nold, what do you mean? How to get what? Not sure. Write a song about lemons. Oh wait, wrong YouTuber. Yes. Yeah. Matt is great, by the way. Yeah, I wish he did more of the content that he talks about so much with like the philosophical deep stuff. I know that stuff doesn't perform well, but I was also so encouraging with him like doing more on his Discord, because that's where you can do it, where you have a closed environment. It doesn't matter that you're gonna like deep dive on one topic for an hour and discuss kind of like the ethical implications of all this. On YouTube, you will lose a lot of people doing that. Yeah, he'll make it happen. He's gonna graduate next week, by the way, which is huge. I get to focus more on this. Anyway. It's about 2 times faster than 3.5. See, this is Gal Rosenthal. Thank you so much for bringing this up. This is a great thing to compare, actually. I want to see the speed difference between GPT-4o and 3.5, because 3.5 was like lightning fast, right? So let's see. 3, 2, 1, go. It is faster. It is faster than 3.5. Good Lord. Wow. Okay. 300 tokens. Yeah, it's about 20% faster than 3.5. Impressive. Okay. David Shapiro is the philosophy guy for AI. True. Exactly right. Also, yeah, David said he's going to come on to the next stream we do with the AI community over on that channel. If you're not aware, we have a channel where now every 2 weeks we're just going to stream kind of like multiple AI YouTubers discussing current topics. Yesterday we did a post-event discussion, but most people were traveling. Matt Wolf was traveling to Google I/O. David Shapiro was also somewhere out. But basically, yeah, this entire group is talking. We'll do more streams like that. I think that channel will be super interesting. Yeah. How do you get GPT-4o if you don't mind? Well, either you have a ChatGPT Plus subscription, then you have it in here or on your phone, or you can go to platform.openai.com, and in the chat function, if you have some credits, you can use it via the API instantly. Those are the 2 options. YouTubers only prefer the truth. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's the whole point of YouTube. Like, if you're not authentic, like, there's no way to do this really if you're not, you know, like, yeah, you kind of have to be like as true as possible to your opinions. Yeah, otherwise you can't do live formats, you can't answer comments, you can't answer follow-up questions. I heard that DALL-E 3 on GPT-4o is better than GPT-4. Good. Let's check that. So how about this? This is the thing that I was personally curious on. What if we go into this blog post and we take some of these prompts? This is something I didn't get to try yet. So they shared these prompts here, right? Let's take, for example, photo to caricature. I mean, this kind of describes me, except of the beard. He's wearing glasses and a light gray t-shirt. Okay, how about this? We put this in here. And a white t-shirt. Head. He's wearing headphones. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a screenshot of myself, I suppose. Wait. So, okay, so I'm gonna do this. Okay, just a neutral. Perfect. Amazing picture. Let's switch on over to the desktop. Let's upload this. Fantastic image, and let's see what it can do if this is the upgraded version. This is something I haven't tested yet. Great picture. Okay. So it won't be rolling out to free users. It will. It's just a gradual rollout. Will I be able to get the voice conversation feature on the website on my phone? I'm not sure about that. They only showed the app. Not sure about the web interface on the phone. Just get the app. Lol. How can I assist you with this image? Bro, I don't know. Create a caricature of me. So let's see, and then let's run the same thing inside of the 4 model. I'll be your lab rat here. The nerd without glasses challenge. Ooh, we could do that. That was a cool one. That's one of the early challenges we did in the community. It was a Reddit post that went viral, where essentially somebody showed how hard it is to recreate the image of a nerd, where you just remove the glasses. Okay, look at that. This still looks like the old DALL-E. I can immediately tell you that. Look at the text. Look at the yeah. This looks like the old DALL-E. So I guess these features haven't shipped yet. But yeah, nerd without glasses. So basically there was an image of a nerd and you had to use any image generator to recreate the image as closely as possible without the glasses. That stuff was so cool. I remember Mikal won that one. He basically created a GPT. He repurposed the old GPT he had to take in the image, describe it, and then change the prompt and remove the glasses. And he had like a glasses removing GPT. And that won the submission because it was like the most creative way of solving the problem. Plus, he got like extremely close to the original image. A lot of people had the creative approaches though. Like what does not work in that case with the nerd without glasses, by the way, what does not work is just saying generate, like take this image and create the same one without the glasses. It doesn't work because every time it sees a nerd or it hears the word nerd, all the training data is dudes with glasses. So you're not going to be with that word. You're not going to be able to get that result. So like it was a fantastic lesson in how to navigate around a bias in training data, essentially. I hope you like it. I don't know. Do I like it? I don't think this looks like me very much. Maybe a little bit. Is it using this image? Kind of. This is the old model, guys, basically. Yeah. Okay, what else? What else should we try? So this is not working. What was the YouTube channel? He said AI content creators will be going live together. I can share with you this one. Here we had 2 live streams so far. Yeah, I can share a link in chat. We're gonna be doing this bi-weekly. Okay, so obviously this feature hasn't been shipped yet. What else can we test here? What else can we test here? Some of the voice features aren't there either yet. All of these imaging features. Okay. What else can we test? We don't have the audio yet. Audio translation. We don't have the assistant with the translation. Oh boy. You know, it'd be really fun to do a live stream like this of me walking around Lisbon and just using the new voice feature and talking to Portuguese people and seeing like how well it live translates. I think that'd be really fun. Also really informative, I think. Okay. Emotional detection in images. Ooh, that's a good one. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. So let's take, you know, somebody who's terrified yet excited. I don't know. Is that a good search? Yes, the good old YouTuber face. Oh my God. Okay, let's do it. I love it. Okay. So let's do this. What emotion do you see? And we're going to compare this to... We can do it in here too, actually. Compare. That's a good one. Thank you for the fantastic suggestion right there. Upload image. Let's just redo that. Let's see how well it detects emotion in here. Run. Ah, my bad. So this thing, it's the new vision. So this should be in there already. This model doesn't support vision. Ah, wait, my bad. This is the original GPT-4. Okay, my bad. Comparison. Upload image. Like so. Fair enough. Emotion is this. And then let's switch this to turbo. Versus turbo O. Run this. This is an interesting one. Okay, so before, expressing excitement or surprise. Her wide eyes, open mouth, and animated hand gestures all contribute to showing a strong positive emotional reaction. Surprise or excitement? Same answer can be inferred from the wide eye. Let's run this a few times. Marketita asking, do you still have that girlfriend? No, I don't. Broke up last year. It's okay. I have you guys. But yeah, maybe let's not talk about that. That's a bit off topic. Excitement and astonishment. Okay, so this seems to be identical. Let's take maybe something that is a bit more nuanced. Let's prompt Google here. Nuanced facial expression. Okay, let's take this. Can you talk to it real time? Sweet Chili, unfortunately not yet. You bet we will be testing that on here once that is out. But that is a gradual rollout and we'll have to probably wait a few days or a few weeks. Okay. So... let's add be precise. And let's do 4o versus turbo. Like, honestly, I really think this is one of the big unlocks with AI. Nuanced emotional awareness. Because you're just going to be able to run around with your Ray-Ban Meta glasses or whatever wearable, or just have your phone like in your pocket here. And it will be able to, we talked about this on the stream with Madvid Pro and Theoretical Media yesterday. Like, obvious example is people who are on the autism spectrum will be able to like interact with the world. It will be such a fantastic aid, right? But also for other people, like maybe if you're in different cultures, maybe if you're traveling, it's not just going to translate. It's also going to interpret people's behavior and guide you through that. It's just going to, wow, it's just going to unlock so much. There's so many positive unlocks that this hides. That's, I mean, and sure, there's a whole different side to that conversation too. But I think I like to think it's in the short to midterm, it's definitely a not net positive. There's no doubt. Long term, that's a fair discussion to be had. But compare coding ability too. What would you like to do? What do we do? Just a snake game? I mean, I think the coding ability. Wait, actually, it did jump a lot. Yeah, actually, it did jump a lot. My bad. Obviously, not my specialty. You know, just to give a little bit of context, I know Python. I know the very basics of Solidity, but I know a bit of Python. I always say, like, I know enough Python to be like dangerous and to get things done. But definitely not my specialty. Just a self-taught Python coder that does side projects here and there. And like, I think the main thing that I learned from that is like how logic works, which really allows me to use a lot of these no-code automation tools very well. But definitely not my specialty. Matthew Berman is fantastic there. His channel focuses on that. I always say, like, I wish I had a weekend off or like a week off to kind of dive a bit deeper on. I have a few ideas for projects that I would like to make happen with code, but I don't. I don't remember the last time I had like a full 24 hours off. It's been a while. So no Python learning for me. Check out if there's anything new in the challenges. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, Euro, thanks for sharing. Okay, we'll review these shortly. I think before we wrap up, we'll look at some of the submissions here. So if you have one, but this is super interesting. Salvino, thanks for sharing the book organization one. I mean, that seems very useful, actually. Okay, let's look at the, I got distracted here a bit. What is the motion? Be precise. The man in the image displays signs of intense frustration or stress. His grimacing facial expression, tightly closed eyes, and hands pressed against his temples, indicative of a state of distress or a severe headache. Overall body language suggests he's experiencing discomfort. Okay, let's see. Compared to this, distress or pain. Here it says frustration or stress, either physical or physiological. This seems very similar, huh? Okay. Will GPT-4o be free for everyone? 4o, it will be free for everyone. Gradual rollout will take a few weeks. So what's the deal here? Why are we getting similar generations on this? Clearly, in all the demos, this was one of the big things they showed off, that it can like read people better. Is this packaged in? Is this packaged in with the assistance feature? With the screen sharing recognition? So maybe it's interesting. So maybe then the deal is that right now we have kind of the old vision. No. But the vision is better. Wait, why is GPT? It doesn't support file attachments, that's why. Okay. So what's the deal here? Why are we getting identical results? Let me rerun this. I hope someone uses GPT-4o to make a fully AI-based operating system. What do you mean by fully AI-based? What would that look like? Sounds like an interesting idea, but it feels more like the operating systems we have are fantastic and we just kind of need to add an AI layer on top of that. I don't think I see the value. No, actually, now I do. Yeah, if it's like ground up, like, what do you mean? Like fully dynamic? Like where it reconfigures itself up? It rewrites assembly as it goes? I don't know. Hello world in assembly. Okay. Let's do hello world in assembly. Let's do this in the web interface for a change. Actually, why would we do that? Wait. Let's give this one last shot and then let's do hello world in assembly. The man in the image is showing signs of intense frustration. Here goes. This is what I expected. It's a bit more detailed, but both of them analyzed as well. I think the real unlock is kind of the... So this is something we didn't talk about. One of the big differences you saw in the demos was the fact, and not just the increase in latency, but it was also the fact how many like kind of frames per second it is able to pick up. Because when you work with the Vision API, it's somewhere around like 1 frame a second that you can kind of like take in, right? So all of these like use cases that they had cookbooks for and people built, like what was it, the live soccer commentator, right? That didn't really work because if a play happened too fast, it didn't manage to kind of catch it, and then it missed it in the commentary. So it was like a theoretical amazing use case, but in practice it's like it's just too slow. What we saw there was like somebody showed up and did like movement bunny ears, and then like he went away. That's not a good example because their 1 frame per second would be enough, but you get my point. In a lot of the demos, it required way more. Like they played rock, paper, scissors, shoot, but also that they held for like 2 seconds. So like I think the number one interesting thing is kind of like the how many frames per second will it be able to pick up and process in real time. That's what I'm curious about. Let's see, what does chat say? I wonder if the audio modality means we can send GPT songs and have it analyze what it is about, what emotions it's trying to convey, chord progressions, etc. I think so. I think that will be the case. Now, the question is like, how detailed of an understanding of like musical technicalities does it have? I haven't prompted it much in that direction, to be fair. Musicians would know, right? I mean, I suppose if it has like the knowledge of the open web, it will have knowledge of the music technicalities. That I just have zero experience in prompting it in that direction. Okay, and kind of like what's in the training data, what kind of answers can you expect? But yeah, just think about for a few seconds. My intuition is telling me it will absolutely be able to do that. As it's multimodal from the ground up, so it can process audio. Its ability to process audio is on par with its ability to process text, right? So that should be possible. The video vision was good, yes, really good. Okay, let's switch gears. Let's try this one. Let's try Hello World in Assembly, GPT-4 Turbo versus GPT-4o, the new model. God, it's so fast. I love it. No need. Well, there you go. Both of them did it. Okay. Maybe, you know, let's do that. Let's do the classic. It's not even a good benchmark anymore, but like. A simple snake game. Some of the most basic prompts out there. Yeah, the rotating 3D model render demo. So as we tested right away, the new imaging features are not live yet. This is still the old DALL-E in here, as you can see by me remixing this fantastic picture into this. Like, this is still the old. You can just look at the text. This is still DALL-E free. Didn't even give it a name. They're so mysterious, right? So much stuff that they didn't specify. ChatGPT will be the judge in a Suno versus Udio song battle. Funny that you say that, Mishmash, but that was a competition 2 weeks ago. That was the challenge 2 weeks ago. We had a Suno versus Udio battle. By the way, all the previous like challenge results there are like, they're all archived, so you can like look at all of it. You can look at the winners, you can look at the submissions. Anyway, a simple platformer game. Wait, did it write the Python snake game? I didn't give it enough. I didn't give it enough max tokens. My bad. Let's do this again. Actually, little thing you need to be aware of. If you refresh, this resets. There you go. And my apologies if this, is a little entry level and not very in depth on one topic. To be fair, we're kind of just hanging out and throwing, shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. with these different prompts. Like this is not kind of like a pre-planned big deep dive on something, but I think we'll test a few more. Then we'll look at what kind of challenge submissions people made while we were live streaming here, and then we'll round it out in about 15 minutes here, I think. But I'm happy to do a little like, what questions? Do you guys have any questions? Anything related to AI, anything related to the space, anything related to my usage of these tools? Because like I make a point out of employing this wherever I can. And I tell the team the same thing. Like we have GPTs for so many things that we do. We have automations. We have, I have specialty prompts for certain things. They're all just like hyper specific to me, right? So, you know, my content creation ideation prompts or kind of my personalized, you know, AI YouTube content creator context that I use in combination with a lot of everyday tasks. They're not going to be very useful to you, but maybe kind of when we abstract from that, like the concept of it might be useful to you, you know? So feel free to ask like any questions you might have. Hit me and I'll happily answer them. We can do a little Q&A here in the end. It's been a while. Do you know if custom GPTs will use GPT-4o? Yes, but not yet. But you can do this little trick, which yeah, you can just do this little trick. Where is it? I'll show you this little trick. I'll give you this little trick. Actually, Daniel from the team sent me this. He did some fantastic research on this stuff. I just have to find it. Is this? Yeah, it's this. You can use this little paragraph. Okay, I'll send it in chat. Shout out to Daniel for researching this. But basically, it's just a simple little... What? It doesn't let me share it in chat because it's too long. Darn it. I'll send it in 2 parts, I suppose. You could just give it this simple little prompt. And then you insert your GPT instructions. And then you can test your GPT with ChatGPT-4o already. And... Yeah, basically you can use it that way. Over time, it will absolutely ship to your GPTs. As of right now, they're still using GPT-4 Turbo. So the flirtatious tone was fine for demo, but I wouldn't want it for daily interactions. I very much agree. But they showed like kind of the spectrum of the voice, right? I don't think that's going to be the default setting. I think that's one that is going to resonate with a lot of people because like they really leaned into this AI girlfriend kind of theme, right? But like they showed off the capabilities of the modulating the voice, right? So they showed off this thing. Like I have a soundboard here, so I can do things like,
Welcome to the AI Advantage. It is truly great to have you here, Earthling.
Right? So they can do all these things with the voice models. That means you're also going to be able to make it less flirtatious, right? I wouldn't be scared of that. But I absolutely agree. You don't want that in your everyday work. I wouldn't want my kids playing with it. Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. But maybe, you know, like, I suppose it depends. Maybe there's like a parental control version of it. Like, I think it's really good for somebody is like, if you give it to a 5-year-old and it answers all of its why questions, what a blessing that would be. I mean, I can see that. Anybody who's interacted with a 5-year-old who's in their why phase will appreciate a little AI companion. On a more serious note, though, just small glimpse did a number on me. Someone less prepared and more vulnerable would definitely struggle with that. I mean, it's crazy. If you look at the beginning of the stream, how we had these 3 like image comparisons, these like the viewers of this stream are some of the most engaged and most AI enthusiastic people on this planet. It was almost 50-50 on 2 of those. It was like 54% to 46%. Like, if you guys are not able to tell which image is AI, which is not, like, what is my grandma gonna do? I talked to her, yeah, it was an interesting conversation. I talked to her on Sunday, and she was basically telling me, she was telling me about this, like, some AI thing that she read in the news, and like how it can now, like, what was she telling me? She was telling me how it's kind of like changing work. Yeah, and how people are using it for work, like with no concrete examples, just like, yeah, like people use it for their work now, AI. And I was like, yeah, that's interesting. So like, what else have you heard about it? And she's like, oh yeah, it's really, really dangerous. It's really dangerous for humanity. Those are the 2 data points she had. She was like, people are using it for work and it's gonna wreck humanity, basically. And then it was an interesting point in the conversation, because I was like, now how do I tell my grandma that this is like a long-term discussion, but on like a short to medium-term scale? Like, how do you communicate that? Like, a part of my brain was like, wanted to go technical, and I initially did that. I think that was a mistake. Like, you know, telling her that, hey, this is based on a transformer architecture and it's essentially just predicting the next token based on what it read on the open web, and there's no, you know, emergent consciousness there, and there's nothing to be afraid of. That really didn't resonate with her when I told her that. I have to be honest. That I think she was more confused than before. But then I told her, just, you know, don't worry about it. These people are talking about sci-fi scenarios. It's just that these sci-fi scenarios like have more, like the probability of them coming true has increased as opposed to 5 years ago, right? That's what I told her, and she was like, that makes more sense. So I think that how would you guys argue? I would really like to know this. How would you guys tell your grandma that there's nothing to worry about for a 80-year-old lady? You know, because the news like scares people, and they latch on to this fear-driven narrative. And don't get me wrong, I think there's merit in the, like, it's important to discuss those things. It's just, don't scare my grandma, right? That's my stance. What do you guys think? What would you tell your grandma? Older Jen appears to be more receptive than the younger. Yeah, well, receptive to those news for sure. Young people don't care. They've given up on the world anyway. A lot of them. So anyway, this prompt you can use in combination with your GPT, and just put the instruction here, and then you can see how it will interact, how it will act in GPT-4o, and you can already start optimizing it for usage with 4o, which will then later on ship to all GPTs. So this is, there you go, little trick. Okay, let's see. Any more questions? Any more questions? Happy to answer anything. Any medical issues? Uses? Actually, yeah. Like if you, actually the top comments. So like in my latest video, I kind of like asked everybody like, hey, this is great. This is great. Can you guys see my screen? No, it's not shared right now, right? Just this YouTube home screen, it represents my life so well. It represents my interests so well. It's like, technical issues with live streaming, 1. GPT-4o tested AI, 2. More GPT-4o, 3. Gothic 2 mod video that I would watch with food. I don't know why I'm into like a game that came out 20 years ago, but I really am. It's a single player RPG that's 20 years old. Fair enough. Thanks, YouTube. And then like some technical tutorial with 60 views on how to do API calls with this app. This is great. What else do we have? We also have Doc Rock, and we have this fantastic channel. For anybody who like is Austrian or German, you have to check out this channel. This is the best channel, I swear to God. It's so funny. He does these little like caricatures of like Austrian culture. It's so funny. Anyway, this is a really good like representation of my current life, I think. Anyway, I got distracted from showing you the medical use case, which you can find. Wait, if you go to channel, if you go to videos, the latest video, I'll just stop it. The top comment, actually, look. Like I asked at the end of the video, like, what use cases are you excited about in your life? What are you going to apply this to? And then this is the top comment. Melanoma detection, retina exams, pulmonary distress analysis. I had to Google this one. This is basically troubles with breathing. I'm going insane imagining how the visual and auditory upgrades will save lives for low cost. Health equity. Yeah. Mail care, thanks for sharing. This seems to resonate with a lot of people. I mean, what a great response. I don't know. I have zero expertise in medical professions, so I wouldn't talk on that. I'm better at using software and teaching people how to do it on the internet. I think that's what I'll stick to. Okay. Does Microsoft plan to add good assistants that really can control the apps and do like voice commands, something like Merge or something like GPT-4o? I don't know what Microsoft is exactly planning, but I think that's the direction it's going into. I think the GPTs paint a clear path, right? You're able to build more narrowed down, more focused versions of a general purpose model, equip it with additional knowledge, and give it the ability to execute API calls, or like give it the ability to execute very narrowly defined tasks. I think that's version 1. I think version 2 is a version where you don't have to host an API endpoint and then create an OpenAI schema to make your action work. I think that's kind of insane. Asking that of like most people. I think the next version is going to be like, hey, link it to your Google Calendar, and you have like a Google login, or link it to this, link it to your Word, whatever. And then it's going to automatically interface, link it to your Notion. Like Notion login, right? That seems to make sense from a UX perspective as the next step. Then it's obviously reasoning capabilities that would be really needed. So it has an ability to like do at least, medium-term planning, and a larger context window, so it can retain that. And then these specialized versions that do specialized tasks, then you kind of like put multiple of those together, and you kind of like follow this idea of these agentic swarms. I think that roadmap really makes sense for these things. And I think that aligns with what you just said there. A good assistant that can actually control apps. Yeah. I think right now it's very limited. And yeah. I mean, that's a very rough outline, but I think it might answer your question. That's what I would expect from their product roadmap. And what form that comes, how they name it, I don't know. But I would expect more user-friendliness in the GPT department, and then doubling down on the concept of like specialized assistants for different purposes. Okay. Do you know Corina's Pictures? I actually don't. What is Corina's Pictures? I mean, obviously that's the world in Gothic, but like, obviously. Corina's Pictures. Does he create like, maybe I do. No, I actually don't. I haven't seen any of those videos. Yeah, thanks for the recommendation. I have something too. So he creates like short movies. Maybe I might have seen him on the World of Gothic forums, like some of the creations, but no, I haven't actually seen any of these videos. That sounds great. So he creates like little movies or like music videos within the game engine. That's cool. Okay. I showed my grandma how to make sense of her medical records with GPT, and that made her trust more in AI. This is what I would kind of like leave you guys with. I think we're going to round it out here. The number one way to convert a non-believer, a non-AI user, a GPT denier, I don't know. The number one way to kind of talk to people like that, if you want to kind of like introduce them to usage of these tools, is by actually showing them something useful. Showing them, hey, you have to write these annoying replies to your bank or your insurance companies here and there, right? And they have to be formal. They have to include certain points. It takes time. You don't want to do it. What if you could just open up chat.openai.com, copy paste that email in there and say, create a draft reply, and then maybe include 1 or 2 more data points about yourself, like what your goal is with the reply. Teach them goal-based prompting. That's really the first step, I would say. Like, show them how they can like give it a little bit of context, give the email, and then let them specify their goal. What are they trying to achieve from the email reply, for example. And if they do those 2 things, give it like some basic info, and give them a goal, then absolutely you will be able to, you know, convince people that this stuff is actually useful, because it'll be right there. It's going to be undeniable, right? This is one of the use cases that I found to like really resonate with a lot of people. Like these formal emails with like public institutions. There, it doesn't matter that it sounds like you, right? It's just got to like communicate the info. So there, that's a clear win. Whatever, adjust that to the context of the person you're talking to, I suppose. But if you can do that, you're gonna have an easier time talking to them, because, you know, once they have something useful, it's like, yeah. Role play any job to understand it, get paid by HR. Absolutely. So like what, like I covered this in a guide on the YouTube last week. I don't know if it was too advanced. Like I'm always so confused by what kind of level of sophistication we want to cover here. Like I don't want to do a 1-hour tutorial on how to like host your API endpoint and do something on here. Because I feel like most people wouldn't care. The numbers kind of back that up. But I showed a technique on how to like use GPTs and like use multiple GPTs, and then using the add mentions feature to kind of combine. So like one GPT to like write something for you or research something for you, gather context, and then a second GPT to transform that into something else. If you take that idea, you could also host conversations. You could just take, yeah, so like the add feature is really good for like hosting conversations and preparing. You could basically just gather all the info you have for the job in the context window of ChatGPT, and then with a second GPT that is kind of set up as a kind of like an interview coach, you could just add mention it and then take in all the context, and then boom, you have an interview coach that is using all the info. There's many workflows like this which are fantastic, but yeah, I don't know. I used to cover these a lot on the YouTube, and I've kind of stopped because just the interest wasn't really there. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tricky one, right? Like on YouTube, you kind of have to follow what the people care about. I don't know. I really want to do more tutorials though. So thank you so much for everybody for sharing your ideas here. You bet I'm taking notes. And you bet I'll go back and look at all the chat messages and take more notes. Ask AI how to do any job it knows. How to connect GPTs? You just add mention them. Actually, in the beginning, I didn't use this a lot, but now I use it more and more. So if I'm like, hey, whatever, like, pick any random, let's just say I take, I don't know, let's just, the most random thing. Here is the content of YouTube video page of my latest upload. And then, I don't know, you know, like step one, give it some context. Like this is super rough, right? It would be better if I just gave it the comments, but like, okay, that works. Cool. And then I can go in and I can be like, okay, I can add mention my email writing GPT. And then be like, okay, turn this into email. Now this email writing GPT is maybe not the best example because I use this to like reply to emails. So into an email, yeah, whatever. But basically you can just mention that, and then your GPT kind of like absorbs the context that is up here, and now you're operating within the context of the GPT. This is such a super useful message, such a super useful workflow. Like having specialized GPTs for specific transformations that you plan on doing is really, I created a video on it last week if you care to learn more about that, but it's one of the fastest workflows in here, because then you can just post random stuff in here, prompt random stuff, and once you arrive at some level of information that is valuable, you just add mention out of the GPT and like, cool. And then it transforms it for you. Yeah. Yeah, I have like a template in there and stuff, but again, this is just a very specific one for responding to certain emails. Oh, my bad. The screen wasn't shared. That's a good point. So, okay, just to quickly recap. Sorry about that. I just command aid like all of this. Basically what you should do is like, you know, like take the comment section like so. And then you take the comment section, you start a new chat, you post it in here. You could just do it like so. Now, yeah, it will give you something, but then you can basically just follow up, and you can just be like, I'll link my email writing GPT, craft an email from this. And then all of a sudden you're operating within the context or within the instructions of this GPT rather than a general purpose assistant. So now this is my email writing, but like this is for email replies to very specific emails. So, and it gives me like these drafts, right? But you can like customize it to what you need. But this is this workflow basically giving it like a lot of context or like the context that you want in there, and then using a specific GPT that is just responsible to turn it into the final form that you wish, that you want it to be in, like an email in this case. This is super, one of the quickest and most powerful workflows I have in there. I default to this a lot of times. I have like various GPTs for like a specific thing, for like a specific format that I want to achieve. And then I just like have a conversation, bring in whatever. And then once there's enough info, I'm just like mention the GPT and I turn it into the output format that I need. Sorry for not sharing the screen. Can companies like OpenAI at some point claim all rights of content the AI has been created for themselves? Yeah, depends on... No, I think the short answer is no. The short answer is no. Basically, all the stuff that it generates is copyright free, right? With the images, it's a bit of a gray zone still. Firefly claims to have the clean model. Midjourney just says, yeah, it's all copyright free, it's all yours, but there's no legal decision on it yet. But basically, everything it generates it's a free-for-all. Probably shouldn't have compromised and went to computational biology. Yep, fair enough. What did you compromise on? What are you doing? Will you still use Claude as a primary AI or will you switch to GPT-4o? Good question. I don't dare to give a permanent answer. It's been less than 24 hours. I have some comparing to do. But my general feeling is that a lot of the reasons why I was using Claude on a regular basis have evaporated now. The main one was improved vision capabilities. If I can get the same level or better of vision in here, then I will, because like I have so many GPTs and so many... I used all the additional features here a lot. Like I use custom instructions all the time. See, I have these enabled. Like I just have this like basic profile of myself. I have like 2 or 3 presets that I have in my Notion. I use this in like 80% of my conversations. So useful. I just don't need to tell it the basics about myself. I have my GPTs. I have my whole team set up in here, so we can like just share a GPT in the team. I really liked Claude for vision, and I really liked Claude for the flavor of its text. It has like a nice way of writing, but it's more human. It's more creative. But here, I would say it got way better with ChatGPT-4o. I wouldn't say it's at Claude level. That's a super subjective statement. Take that with not a grain of salt, but with like a truckload of salt. But my intuition is that like my main thing that I went to Claude for was the image capabilities. If the image capabilities are now equal or better in here, then no, I won't be using Claude on on like a regular basis. That's my honest answer. Okay. Well, some new people just tuned in. Guys, it's been over 2 hours. What are you doing in here? Oh boy, interesting. Lusting for some AI knowledge. Okay, some final questions to round everything out. This has been a fantastic 2-hour stream. I'm so glad we're back. We should do this more often. Again, just to reiterate, we talked about GPT-4o and it was fantastic to discuss all of this with you guys. Basically, we learned that most of the things that we kind of want in here are not available yet. The image generation capabilities are not there. The voice assistant is not there yet. Like all of this is like gonna gradually roll out to plus users over the next few weeks. But what is there is 4o that is better in many ways. Main one is that it's fast and the tools that it has are more capable. So go ahead and use that. I challenge you to find use cases for yourself that make sense. And we prepared a little guide that you can follow to do that. And then if you follow these 4 steps in the guide, then you can submit those results here in this public area. It's free to create an account in here. You just create a new post. You share your findings in here, and then you can compete for, you know, a 30-minute call with me and a yearly membership in the AI Advantage community. Second and third place get a month of membership. And basically for anybody else, if you don't plan on participating, this is going to be a very interesting kind of repository of use cases for GPT-4o, because I essentially challenged you to compare it to GPT-4 and find the use cases where it makes sense to use 4o. And we're going to be judging it by this criteria. And basically one of the big ones is going to be like the largest kind of difference between GPT-4 and 4o, where it's just clear as day that you want to be using 4o for this use case. Most useful use case will get a yearly membership and everything. Thank you so much for participating. To round it out, let's have a look at what Euromaestro, that was also very active here in chat, also right here. Let's see what you submitted here, man. What kind of use case did you find? And compare the models against each other daily on a variety of difficult tasks. The problem below is one which almost all models get consistently wrong. Okay? Ask GPT-4 and GPT-4o to summarize the X-ray output for solar flares. This is important as it correlated with the strength of geomagnetic storms that reach Earth and disrupt satellites and cause other infrastructure problems. Wait a minute. You asked both of these models to summarize X-ray outputs for solar flares. Okay, I know nothing about flare classes and X-ray outputs, but I shall inform myself. This is very, very interesting. Okay, this is the response for GPT-4, which is completely wrong. Okay, fair enough. Peak flux range for each of the specialized solar flare magnitudes. These peak. Okay, it's completely wrong. I'll take your word for it. Here's the response that I got from GPT-4o, which is correct. I've also done this test previously comparing GPT-4 with Claude 3, and you can find that comparison here. Interesting. My man, thanks for sharing. See, these are some of the things like most of us would never ever end up testing something like this. To me personally, this is very interesting to read about. Let's see, certainly. Okay. Wow, and here you have you have 9 levels to solar flares. I didn't know that. So it's like a measurement scale as with earthquakes, right? Or with spiciness, Scoville, I suppose. It's kind of similar. Not really. Kind of. So what's the strongest one? Moderate flare nearing the intensity of an X-class flare can cause considerable radio blackouts and minor radiation storms. Okay. Wow, so I got this right. And then you also shared your comparison with Claude. I love that. Front was please summarize in a table X-ray out for solar flares. Claude provided this. Front was please summarize despite multiple attempts at trying to get a different answer. GPT provided the following table. Okay. So now you'll have to help me out of here, man. But like, which one? I suppose GPT-4o wins here, right? Okay. Now this is a topic where I don't have domain expertise, but it's great to hear about. Thanks for sharing, man. Wow. All right. Then we have also DocRock here here's the link. This was done on desktop app for Mac. Okay. You used it. Okay. Make a chart displaying your scores as to how you arrived at the conclusion. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, well, this is great. Guys, this is going to be our little repository of GPT-4o multimodal, omnimodal use cases. I'm super curious to explore this further. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe we're going to do another stream in a week and just evaluate these, or I'm going to do a YouTube video on it, or like what I'm going to do for sure is like just post a video in here evaluating the results and announcing the winners. I guess it all depends on like what kind of submissions and how many we get. But this is fascinating. So even if you don't plan on submitting, like just keep an eye on this, see what people are doing with GPT-4o. We're crowdsourcing the ability to find useful use cases for this. And I think that pretty much wraps it up for today. I hope you learned something. I hope this was informative. It was certainly fantastic to hang out with all of you in here. This chat has been wild. So many people sharing their thoughts in here. I absolutely love it. Okay, so the first one is not just wrong, but complete nonsense. Okay, or Euromaster. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's dangerous, huh? 4o is the best. Claude was correct, and GPT was gibberish. GPT-4 was gibberish. Almost all other models produce nonsense. Yeah, guys, you heard it here. It's way better for many things. There's no doubt. I don't know why so many people on Twitter I kind of defend like are. I think they just had like expectations for something. I think maybe a lot of like developers are bummed out that this was like a consumer focused update. Yeah, screen share and get help for classes. Exactly. So for anybody curious, like go to the blog and check out all the videos on there. I'm creating a video on that already. And yeah, honestly, thank you so much, guys, for joining this, for hanging out. So we should totally do this more often and kind of share our, our interest in this like niche topic. It is niche. I mean, still. Yeah. Great to be living through this technological revolution together with you. When is the deadline for submission? 7 days from the beginning of the stream. So next Tuesday. Yeah. And yeah, I hope to, keep on learning together from each other, with each other. I've always shared like most of the things that I found that I thought were relevant on here. And it's great to be getting into this mode where we can start learning more from each other rather than this being like a one-way avenue, right? I think that's the beauty of like community, whether it's in a live stream, whether it's in the comment section of a YouTube, whether it's like, the close community we're doing now, whether it's with the other YouTubers, like it's just so great. Whether it's going to a conference and like hanging out with people and discussing these things in real life, it's just, yeah. It's just better. It's just better on every dimension. You learn more. It's more fun, and in that spirit, we'll be doing more of these. Thank you so much for joining me in this live stream. It's been a pleasure. 2 hours, 20 minutes. I'll see you soon. Subscribe and keep your eyes on future live streams. Next Tuesday, we'll be evaluating the challenge results. This is our first experiment in that direction. All right. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. I'm going to bed. Have a good one.